Hello everyone. This video is about agency, ideology, gaze in film studies. Let me share my screen. Yes. Okay. So I will start with agency. What is agency? The basic meaning of agency is power. Okay. It implies who is having power or control. Now, in film studies, when you are interpreting film, you have to understand the concept of agency in the context of who is having power of narration, who is narrating the film. Is the male protagonist narrating the film? Is the female protagonist narrating the film? Is it a third person narration? Okay. So who is narrating the film? Who has agency over the entire narration? Usually male-centric films. Male-centric films will have, agency given to male protagonists. Okay, so there could be male and female agency in films. Now there could be patriarchal agency, matriarchal agency, agency to the narrator. Okay, so patriarchal agency when women are objectified, when women are not considered as at par with men, when women are not given equal presence, equal screen presence, or equal space in the narration, then the narrative agency lies with the male characters. Okay, now ideology. What is ideology? Ideology is such a term that has been used every day, that we use every day. Okay, so what is ideology? The basic meaning of ideology, it is actually a collection of beliefs, ideals, okay, that influences a society, that influences people, okay, to think in a particular way. Okay, so that is now when you are studying a society, when you are looking at a society, you need to know what is the dominant ideology of that society. The dominant ideology of that society will be the governing set of ideals, okay, controlling that society, influencing that society's people. So what is the dominant ideology of that society? You have to understand. So similarly, when you are studying films, when you are interpreting films, you have to understand what is the dominant ideology of the film. Is it a patriarchal film? Is it a film objectifying women? Is it a film that is related to nationalism? Is it a film related to, the say, the impact of pollution on our environment? Okay, so what kind of ideology, ideals that film is representing? So usually the dominant ideology is advocated by political parties or those who exercise their social authority. So, whoever is ruling, whoever is in charge of a society will impart the dominant ideology. Okay, and in case of films, who is having the agency in narration, who is having the narrative agency, will be exercising his or her set of beliefs on the film. Okay, so who is having the authority? That element, that person, that body, that element will exercise or impart the dominant ideology. Now, next topic is gaze. What is gaze? So the simple translation of this term gaze implies to visual representation. The term male gaze was given by the theorist Laura Mulvey And what does it mean? Males having agency in representation of women as objects of visual pleasure. So, there are many films where you can see that women are portrayed as objects. Women are dressed in a certain way. Women are given certain roles, okay, which objectify women. Okay, so when women are treated as objects of visual pleasure, so the concept is related to exercise of patriarchy, or objectifying women, giving women certain roles to perform. Okay, certain roles to perform that has been continuing since generations after generations. So such roles again fosters a male a society that is dominated by male. Okay, that such roles, such performative roles ascribed to women again labels a society as a patriarchal society. Okay, so female gaze, what is female gaze? Females having agency to represent women. So there are films that have narrative agency on women. Okay, and women represent themselves. Okay, and nowadays there are films like say Thappad, Parched, Paglet, Hindi films. Okay, so they represent women having a very strong share in the society, in their say, in their in the space, in the domestic space also. Okay, so female gaze counters the male gaze. Male and female gaze can be exercised by both men and women. It is not necessary that male gaze is only exercised by men. Women can also exercise male gaze. There are films that are directed by women supporting male gaze. Okay, there is there are item numbers, item songs in Hindi films, women dressed in a certain way, and women saying certain things, doing certain things to attract or to say, not to attract, but to approve or to please or to gain approval of male characters. Okay, so male and female gaze can also be exercised by a male director attempting to liberate women from the domestic space, from the patriarchal gendered notions of man and women, women as inferior to men. Okay, so even a male director can exercise female gaze. Next is scopophilia. What is scopophilia? This was also, at length discussed by Laura Mulvey. So scopophilia is again male gaze of objectifying women in cinema. It is actually related to fetishizing women's bodies, ogling. Okay, when someone, male or female, it can be a man, it can be a woman, when they look at women in a particular way, when they perceive their bodies in a particular way. Okay, so and that way is usually giving them sexual or that visual pleasure. Okay, so voyeurism, fetishizing, these are all related to scopophilia. Scopophilia is related to male gaze, and male gaze is related to objectification of women in visual representation. Okay, so that's all with these ideas. I hope you have understood the concepts. Thank you.